Okay, this is my Focus on the Students Part A video blog. And we're basically just discussing what students are like today. And I'm currently in an 8th grade civics class, so all this is based on the 8th grade students that I've watched so far. The first question is what piques these students' interest. And one thing I've noticed that really piques their interest is when they're talking about something that can apply to their lives. So, for instance, we talked about demand last week for economics, and they really enjoyed it when we would use an example that they could relate to, such as candy bars or what becomes popular because of a fashion magazine. And they really got into the material and enjoyed it when they could relate, and it wasn't on this high surfacey level that they didn't understand. Also, just discussing current events. They really enjoy that with the new healthcare plan, the healthcare plan bill kind of going on right now, with the Obama speech addressing it a couple weeks ago. Also with banks, today we discussed the role of banks and the Fed and how that applies to the current economic situation. And they all had questions. Several of them had questions throughout the whole class. So that was really neat to see them take an interest to the extent where they're asking more, wanting to know more about the topic. Question, what do they do? A lot of times in class, they do participate. They listen to the lecture, to the PowerPoint slide. They do ask questions and participate in that. And then they'll take that work or that knowledge that they've learned and they'll apply it. They'll have worksheets and they'll be able to work together in twos or more to apply what they've just learned and practice it in a cooperative group setting. In discussing how they react to each other and to the teachers, I think they do a really good job of working well with each other in the class. I haven't seen any big discrepancies or fights or disagreements between the students. And also, they're very receptive to my teacher as well. She has a very laid-back personality, so I don't know if that helps just the students, the fact that she is laid back and likes to have fun. But she's also a very hard teacher, so that would make me think maybe they wouldn't be as receptive, but they are pretty receptive of her. I haven't seen any students be rude or really get out of the line yet. A few have talked a little more than they should, but other than that, things have been pretty good. So what is a social studies student today? A social studies student is learning new knowledge constantly about, in this case, civics, the government, how it works, economics, what that is and how that relates to their lives. They take that knowledge and they apply it, and they help each other learn. They work in cooperative groups, and they build off one another, and then they take what they've learned and applied, and they write. My teacher really has them focusing on writing. They're writing current events, they're writing stories, and several different things. So a social studies student today is one that learns the concepts of social studies, applies it, and then is able to take that application and write intelligently about what they've learned.